Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another trade recap video. Today I'll be breaking down trade which I've taken on 2nd July 2026. It was a news event trade which I've taken on NFP day. So I'll break down the trade and I'll tell you why I took the trade on NFP. Without any further delay, let me just clear my charts and start breaking down my trade. So let's start with the daily time frame. In the daily time frame, we can see that market has given a correction after an all-time high. We can see we made an all-time high over here, and from there, since the start of this year, we have been correcting the all-time highs move. So now we are clearly bearish on the daily time frame, but as ICT traders, let's look at where are our draws on liquidity. We can find these equal lows here as a draw on liquidity, and we have a supply zone which is supporting our draw on liquidity. From here, market corrected itself and gave a small correction, and then it rallied towards all-time high. So this is a nice zone of supply. So the difference between a support and supply zone is that support zone is being tapped into multiple times and has a lower probability of forming rejections from that zone, but whereas a supply zone is a mitigated order block which has a higher potential because order blocks produce institutional momentum. So that's what we can observe over here on the daily time frame. Getting on to the 4-hour, we can see that 4-hour also on July 1st only we broke structure to the upside. So if I just replay this trade, this was 2nd July, and which we took it at 9 o'clock UTC -4. So yeah, let me just put it like that. On the 4-hour, we can see that we were clearly stuck between this order block, and we need some kind of fundamental move to break this zone, and we were coming from sell side liquidity pushing towards buy side liquidity confirmed by this breakup structure. So my view was bullish, looking at the 2-hour breakup structure, this whole imbalance. We were flipping these order blocks right here, resting here. So my view was bullish because it was simple. We were drawing from sell side liquidity, we were showing signs of bullishness. Though it's not a very high probability trade you can take, but NFPs are like some of the easiest news events you can trade. I wouldn't suggest trading any other news event than NFP, and it was my first time trading a news event too. So let's come into the 15 minutes. On the 15-minute, we can see that we didn't have any great momentum, but we were bullish. On the Asian session, we were bullish. We tapped into this order block right here, and we were just rallying higher. If you look at the daylight candle close at around, at 6 o'clock or New York time, we made a high, then we swept the liquidity and we tapped into the order block. Okay, that's another concept I will later break down detailedly. So we can simply see we are rejecting this order block, and we retraced into this order block and we were pushing into higher highs. So if you're coming from sell side liquidity, where would you target? We would target buy side liquidity. So where do we have buy side liquidity over here? We can see that we clearly have this order block where market would have the potential to retrace, and we have these equal highs too. So I didn't put it anything crazy, I just wanted to target this high. So how I plan the trade is more interesting because 5 minutes before the news came out, so this was the exact candle that we captured a 1:5 on. So it's simple. What you do is 5 minutes before the news, NFP comes out every Friday of every first Friday of a month about the employment rate, average hourly earnings, and a lot more about how is the job market's doing apart from the primary sector. So if you come, we had a news event at 8:30 UTC -4, which is around 6:30 in IST. So coming over here, see, though it's a news event, we must put stop orders when there are news events, or you might have huge spreads. So my view was bullish. I de-risked myself because it's a news event. I took a measurement of 15 pips. So this is where I executed my order from here, from this point, and my stop loss was right here. No, wait, my stop loss was over here, I guess. Yeah, and then I targeted this high. That's it, nothing crazy, just 1:5 risk to reward. I took this trade on my funded account as it was making sense to me and I was de-risking myself. So things you need to remember is while trading news event is, first of all, it's a lower probability day. It is not very probable that we always win a trade on news events. Second, mark out your structure on the market. So you need to mark out your confluences that you trade with, and then most important thing, risk management. De-risk your positions. You have to de-risk your positions and always put stop orders, not limit orders, or simple buy or sell when the market's moving. The reason behind this is you'll have huge spreads. So if you're trying to punch an order over here, your broker might punch it over here because you have huge momentum. So that is it. This was a simple trade which I planned. We could have extended to take profit 2 also, which was over here, but I like to take full profits instead of partials because it just affects your risk to reward if you're not taking partials correctly. And if you're a beginner or an intermediate trader like me, I would suggest you to take full profits instead of partials with a positive risk to reward. So that was the NFP trade I've taken. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.